I am so excited. I have partnered up with Kenwood and they've sent me their new Cooking Chef XL. I'm gonna unbox it today and test it out on a bunch of really fun recipes to show everything that it can do. First, I have to figure out how to get it out of this massive box because it is bigger than me. Oh. Yep, and this is where you call in the husband because I can't reach it anymore. Can you put it on the ground maybe?
Yes.
Thank you. This is the Model 3000 Canadian husband. Highly recommend. I think they might be out of stock though. Okay, here we go. Ooh. It's not that heavy, I'm just weak. Oh, this thing is gorgeous.
There's a lever in the front. Yeah, right there.
Pull the lever. This bowl is huge. That's brilliant. 6.7 liters. I've been eyeing up getting a machine like this for a really long time. There are a few different ones on the market, but in my opinion, if you bake or make desserts or any kind of pastries, this is the best one out there. It is basically the Rolls Royce of mixers because it does everything. It's got your basic mixing functions. It also has 2 separate places for attachments, and you can cook in here. This is an induction heated bowl. It goes up to 180 degrees or 350 Fahrenheit. It's a scale. It can measure your ingredients as you go, so you don't even need a kitchen scale. And it has so many different attachments that just mean you can do basically everything with just this machine. I cannot wait to start playing with this thing. So I'm going to do a series of recipes today to make sure I really put it through its paces and test out as many features as I can. I'm going to start with a chocolate mousse, followed by some strawberry cupcakes with some strawberry Swiss meringue buttercream, and I'm going to make a lovely apple tart. So I'm going to clear all this out the way and let's see what this thing can do.
So I started by making a chocolate ganache. Normally I do this on the stove top, but what's nice about this is you can have complete control of the temperature, so I know I won't overheat the cream. It made a really beautiful glossy ganache, which was the perfect start for the chocolate mousse. Then I moved on to making the meringue. It was ridiculously easy. I just poured in the egg whites and the sugar, pushed a button and let it go. It made a gorgeous shiny meringue. I mixed a little bit in with the chocolate ganache and then added the whole thing back into the mixer just to bring it all together. I poured the mousse into glass dishes so it could sit up a little while in the fridge, and that was literally it.
Alright, my chocolate mousses have been in the fridge for a few hours. This is potentially very dangerous for my waistline. Chocolate mousse is my favourite dessert, and the only thing that holds me back from eating copious amounts of it is that it's kind of a faff to make, but this thing just let me make it all in one bowl, very easily, minimal effort. It was a little too easy. I'm a little worried I'm going to turn into that girl from Willy Wonka that turns into a blueberry. So if I do, you'll know why. Let's see how she handles whipped cream, because this is an important part of a lot of desserts, and I want to see how it does. Oh yeah, that's perfect. It's beautiful, soft, pillowy. It's done a really nice job with aeration. I'm pleased with that. Let's get some of this onto the mousse. I'm just gonna go for like a dollop. I'm gonna dollop it on. Just like that. Oh, this is gorgeously soft. Just gonna finish these off with some chocolate curls. Oh my god, that's really good. This was way too easy to make. It's great because there was no saucepan required, no double boiler, no like 3 million bowls. It was literally just so easy and simple. I'm gonna be making this a lot more often.
I then moved on to making the strawberry puree to flavour my strawberry cupcakes. I sliced up my strawberries, although you can actually just cut the tops off and put them in whole, but this was just habit. I threw the strawberries in the bowl with some sugar and selected the preset fruit compote mode. This was honestly a game changer for me because I use this method to flavour a lot of my desserts, and this machine took a process that normally takes about 30 minutes of constant attention on the stovetop and made it so I can basically just set it, forget it, which is amazing. As soon as it was done, I transferred it to the heat-proof blender and blitzed it up into a puree right away. It only took a few seconds before it was ready.
Look at that! How easy was that? I literally just threw everything in and pressed a button and it just did it. Like, I use fruit purees in a lot of my recipes because I like to use the real deal rather than extracts and things. But sometimes even for me, it's a bit of a pain to be like, oh, I gotta get out a pot and do this, and it just seems like a bit of a hassle. Whereas this was so easy and anyone could do it. I threw the ingredients in and pushed a button, and I'm just really impressed actually. Now we're gonna use this to make some delicious strawberry cupcakes. Okay, this is a feature I've been really excited to test out. So this whole thing is actually also a scale. So I don't need to get a kitchen scale out, I don't need to measure anything, I can literally measure straight into my bowl, which is just really cool. I'm gonna start with my flour and I want to sift that. So I'm gonna place the sift on the bowl and just zero out the machine. Actually, it'd be better if I come around the front so I can see it. So yeah, I just want to press 0 and I can put this straight in there. Oh, and pour it all over the worktop, but you know, that's because I'm using my left hand. There. So it's weighed it out straight into the bowl. I don't have to use anything else, which is amazing. And then the other ingredients I can just literally straight into the bowl. But I saw as well, some people, that the whole thing is a scale, like it's not just the bowl. So I can actually, apparently, do this. Oh, that's so cool. I'm quite impressed with that. It's like the bane of my life, constantly having a kitchen scale, which is just covered in stuff. So I'm really happy with that. I'm just gonna go ahead and crack these eggs in with my milk. And if you're interested in this recipe, it is actually on my blog. I will link it in the description down below as well. So if you want to try it out for yourself. Right, I'm gonna set that to one side. And this cupcake recipe uses the reverse creaming method, which is why I've got the flour and sugar in there first. And then we're gonna try out this flexi beater. This is supposed to be great for scraping down the sides of the bowl and anything that's like creaming. Then we're gonna add some oil and the lovely strawberry puree we made earlier. And this is the only strawberry flavoring that's going in the whole thing. It's gonna make the best strawberry cupcakes. All right, now we have to beat this for exactly 2 minutes. It's really important that it's no more and no less because we want to develop just the right amount of gluten so it has structure, but it's still lovely and soft. So luckily, there is a timer function on here. So I will just set it for 2 minutes and see how it does. That's it. So it stopped by itself, which is nice because I often forget and then leave it on too long. This is gorgeous. So, got some in my hand. Let me just take this off so I can show you how beautifully it's creamed this mixture. It's thick and it's done a really good job. Plus the sides of the bowl have been, I don't even need to scrape them down. Like this flexi beater has just gotten all the stuff from the sides by itself. So I'm actually really impressed with that. That's fantastic. So I'm gonna turn this on low and just slowly pour in the last of the ingredients. All right, it's time to make some Swiss meringue buttercream for these cupcakes. Swiss meringue buttercream is the silkiest, smoothest, most delicious buttercream, but it's such a pain to make. You have to do a double boiler and then kind of whisk the egg whites into the sugar on the pot and then transfer them to a stand mixer and whip them there. It's kind of a faff. This thing has a Swiss meringue button. I am literally going to throw these ingredients in and press the button and it's just gonna turn it into Swiss meringue. I'm so excited about this because I love Swiss meringue buttercream. I hate making Swiss meringue. So here we go. Chuck in the egg whites. Okay, it's thick, it's glossy, it's gorgeous. Now we can add our strawberry puree. Okay, we've got our strawberry cupcakes, we have our strawberry Swiss meringue buttercream, and we have some leftover strawberry puree that we're actually going to use as a filling. So this one filling has been used to make the cupcakes themselves, the frosting and the filling. So what I'm gonna do is take the cupcakes and I'm gonna core out the middle. Just like that. And then I'm gonna spoon some of this filling into the middle of the cupcake and pop the lid back on. And pipe the cupcakes. So there we go, strawberry cupcakes made with real strawberries from start to finish in the Cooking Chef machine. There are so many parts of that process that have just been completely simplified now, from making the compote to making the Swiss meringue. Just everything is much easier and simpler, and these came together so quickly. I think it's about time we gave them a try though. You really can't beat using fresh strawberries. There's a kind of flavor that extracts just cannot give you. You can see that strawberry filling on the inside. So good. Okay, the last thing we're gonna make is an apple tart, and I want to test out the food processor on here to see how it does with slicing. I've just discovered this. This is really cool. This is an adjustable slicer. So every other food processor I've ever had, you have to have millions of discs. This one you can adjust. So it has 5 or 6 different thickness settings on it, 5. And it'll make thin or thick slices depending on what you pick. It's genius. I've never seen anything like that. So happy to test that out. And the food processor attaches the same way as the blender does. It just pops on top here. Just a little attachment. And the food processor and the blender actually come with this machine. Like, it comes free with it, which is really cool. And I think this just pops on top. Oh wait, what setting do we want? Let's see. For apples, let's try 3. So that just pops on top. And it is a thinner mouth than my last processor, but it should be enough. We only want half apple slices, so it should be big enough for what we need. So first I'm just going to cut these in half so I can get the core out. Let's try it that way and see how it does. I'll give it a go. Let's see how that turned out. It was really fast. Oh, these are perfect. These are absolutely perfect. They're nice and thin, not too thin, pretty uniform. Yeah, these are gonna be great for my apple tart. Let's do the rest. So I'm just gonna leave these in the bowl for a little bit. I'm gonna toss them with a little bit of cinnamon and some brown sugar. Just gonna toss those a little. I'm just gonna let those sit while I prepare the puff pastry. I've just got some pre-rolled puff pastry here, and I have some apricot jam, which I just melted in the microwave for like 20 seconds. And I'm just gonna brush a little bit of that on. And then I'm just gonna arrange these in kind of a pretty pattern. There's not really a science to it. I'm just gonna throw them down and see what looks nice. Then I'm just gonna sprinkle a little more brown sugar on top. You can be as intricate or as simple as you like with this design. And the last thing I'm gonna do is just fold in the edges just to make like a nice border around the apples. All right, I'm just gonna pop this in the oven until the pastry puffs up and the apples are cooked. Oh, look at this. See, desserts do not have to be complicated. That was literally put the pastry on the sheet, slice the apples, and throw them on. Like, amazing. I'm actually just gonna cut a piece of this right now. Not even gonna wait for it to cool. Oh, my husband's gonna want to eat this entire thing by himself. That is so delicious. I might have to hide it from Chris. That's what I'm gonna do. So there we go, 3 impressive desserts made fairly easily with the Kenwood Cooking Chef. I'm honestly really impressed. Like, I knew I was gonna like this machine, but I didn't realize just what a workhorse it is. It takes a lot of the faffy parts of baking and pastry and makes them a whole lot simpler. I'm a little concerned it might be coming for my job. In all seriousness though, I am really excited because part of what I do with Bonnie Bakery is trying to help people who might be intimidated by baking to break down those barriers and be able to create impressive desserts really easily in their own homes. And that's exactly what this machine does. What's really special about it is the ability to combine all those functions in one machine. So the fact that I can cook in this, I can weigh, I can do all my normal mixing, and then all the attachments just make it a whole world of other possibilities. I have partnered up with Kenwood and they're offering 2 completely free attachments to anyone that buys the machine using the code BONNI, that's BONNI. That is on top of the food processor and the blender, which already come with the machine. So you'll get 2 more free attachments and you can choose any 2 you like, which could potentially add up to hundreds of pounds. I feel like I've just scratched the surface of what the cooking chef can do, so I'm really excited to play with it some more over the next little while. Let me know if there's anything in particular you'd like to see me make in it, or any features you'd like to see me test out, and also let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'll definitely try and answer them. The recipes that you saw today will all be linked down below in the description, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe so you can see the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I'm off to eat a copious amount of dessert. Happy baking!